Todd.
What do we got here?
How long till you're unemployed?
2 years,
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah.
No, I do. Lots of people, no, plenty of people say I'm wrong, and that's cool. And I hope I am.
Well, it'd be nice if you had, 3 years.
It would be nice. I don't know. I think, I think the broking industry is using AI, to help with workflows, and they've got, and by the way, there's a lot smarter people than me using this stuff, and so I can give you a broad overview of here's my opinion based on the industry and what I can see happening. The technicalities of of the technology, I don't understand fully. I can just see where it can go, and where it can go is we can, I'm going to say, destroy, if you like, an industry pretty quickly.
Right.
Because, as soon as we can get into we can replace people with repetitive workflows and automation and what have you. And we've already done that with technology, but when we start moving into AI agents being able to perform these tasks for you, say as a broker to start off with, why can't we just shift that into the hands of the consumer and get them to do it?
So my understanding is that with the softwares out there, when you go to a broker, the software that you currently use kind of interacts with all the banks or through the aggregator.
Yeah.
So essentially, without belittling what a broker does, I mean, they're taking data from the client, putting it into a program.
Mm-hmm.
The program is doing the heavy lifting of bringing the results back to a certain extent.
Yeah.
With some tweaking.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you put the general parameters in.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people who will say, oh, well, that's not entirely true. There's some tweaking, as you say, that every broker does. They know.
And there's relationships. You can say, hey, look, we need this done quickly. I can call it that BDM I get on well with, etc.
Sure. Yeah.
But in essence, the data comes back of here's your top 3 lenders that kind of will lend you money on this scenario.
Yeah.
And then that broker either talks to the client or weights the discussion towards, hey, look, there is 3, but, CommBank's in there and they're hard to deal with, so really there's only 2 or whatever it might be, right?
Well, I guess if we're going to talk about residential mortgages, let's say
start
what's
with
in the best interest of the client, and the client makes the decision around, we want to take this pathway.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole lot of other work that the broker has to do.
But in that initial sense, that initial part where you kind of fact-finding, gathering, putting it into the system, whatever the system is, getting a result back, that you can see how that would be very easily replaced by an AI agent.
You would think so, yeah. I mean, people will say, no, you can't do that because you need the human interaction and what have you. But let's just put that to the side. Let's say that you've got someone who's really, really comfortable with dealing with an AI agent. And what's an agent? Well, I mean, there's lots of different forms. The form of that agent might be a program, for example, what I will call a program because I'm old. But, like what does it look like? Maybe it's a video avatar that sits on the screen and you're talking to it and you're saying, hey, listen, I want a loan and this is where I live and this is the address and, give me some recommendations, which is different to Google searching best interest rate on a home loan. Anybody can do that. And
that's right.
That doesn't do anything.
No, that's not anything.
That's a very different scenario, and that's not what we're talking about.
No.
What we're talking about is, an agent that learns from the information that's provided.
Yeah.
And for a while, it needs to be supported by back end in terms of it's getting asked a question it doesn't know the answer to, and then it gets trained afterwards with the answer.
Yeah.
With the database.
Sure.
I mean, if you've got a big enough database that you can, and enough money, because remember, this costs money. It's not like ChatGPT, which is you can get a free version. There might be a free version at some stage, but banks, whatever, are going to have to spend money. And when they do, they will spend a lot of it, and they'll upload a full database of just about every scenario that they can.
Yeah.
So that the AI agent can answer those questions and find the best solution.
But my argument is that there's already a best solution. if a broker puts the information into the what do you call the software that's in that goes and
Well,
looks
it
at?
depends. A lot of aggregators have different software,
Yeah,
and
right. So not
they'll,
one name,
you
but
know,
is it got like whatever that is? It's
mm,
their CRM or whatever you're going to call it, right?
yeah.
The loan assessment software or something.
Yeah. So they'll put the parameters in. They'll say, well, I want to borrow 80%, 95%.
Yeah,
I'm buying a house in Sydney or Brisbane, and is it the POYG? Is it full doc? And
yeah,
yeah.
that's
So you're
right.
putting all the parameters in. You get a list. Here's the list, if you
Yeah,
like, for want of a better way to put it. Here are your options. Now, a lot of experienced brokers already have an idea in their head
of course they would.
of where that's going to go, but we've got to remember that that's not a human. That's not a human process. Just because it's in our brain doesn't mean it can't be replicated.
Yeah,
You're
that's
just doing
right.
it quickly because you haven't had time to type it in, and you saw this scenario 100 times, and you know that Macquarie. You already know
That's
Macquarie's
exactly
going to
right.
do this deal, right?
That's my point, right? So
Yeah.
so the thing is, the information comes from the client,
Mm.
the borrower, to the broker, who then kind of re-puts it in, right,
Mm.
to then get a result. I mean, all this can be fairly instantaneously done by the client inputting data straight into an AI agent.
Sure.
It's already going to go straight into your loan assessment software and going to come straight back out with here's the top 3 options for you, right?
Yeah, and yes, if I'm treating the agent as a broker,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
but the next step is, I mean, and that's nice for me as a consumer to go, oh well, I've got my AI agent, which you're my AI broker,
Yeah.
right? Or maybe I don't want that. Maybe the bigger banks with the more money have spent so much on advertising over a period of time. I don't mind anymore. I'm just gonna
Go
go
straight
to
to them.
I'm just gonna go straight to
Yeah, okay. So that's the second stage, right? But I
yeah.
mean, the thing is that if I was looking, I mean, if you have any clue about what you want to do, I don't want to go straight back to the bank I'm already with anyway. So
No, so we're at, say, first level. For
yeah,
example, first level is I've got an AI broker.
that's right.
Yeah.
I think that's the area that can be fairly easily reproduced.
Yeah.
And
Well, you can already, agents at the moment, and I mean, you can already make a phone call, have an answering service, and ask questions, and get the answers.
Yeah.
The primitive version of this is the, press 3 for this and press 4 for
That's
that,
right,
right?
yeah.
But and then no one likes that. But what people seem to be okay with calling and saying to an AI agent on the end of the phone, by the way, in hardly, it used to be delayed. So it used to be about a 1 second delay between asking the question and getting the
Yeah.
answer back. And there's no delay anymore. It's
No,
just
it's
like a
pretty quick.
conversation. So it's just, what I want to borrow some money against a house. How much can I get? What products do you have, etc. So those answers are already being given in an interactive format.
Yeah.
And they're being given that way either over the phone or by video.
But I still think that's harder, and I'm not saying that it's not happening. I still think that's harder than the actual loan assessment process, which to me is very much already being done by the software and it's just handled by people.
Because there's a collection process that has to be followed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and I totally agree with you that the front end question and answering process is already being replaced. I mean, you've trialed an AI
Video agent.
yeah,
Yeah.
on the website or on the back end or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We did some testing on that. It was pretty in depth.
Yeah, and that was with limited training,
Yeah.
without specific scenarios, etc. Just some product knowledge.
Yeah.
And it made its own, not assumptions. It gave answers that took all that information and put it together rather than the standard answers we were giving it. So
And the thing is, it's 24/7.
Mhm.
Yeah. It doesn't have a
don't need
smoke
10, don't need 10 people.
No.
Just need one that 10 people can access.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I see it as, maybe that's the first step. Maybe I'm thinking too far ahead in that, hey, we don't have jobs at all. But and maybe that is the first step of an expansionary model, a scaling model for a brokerage.
Yeah.
Is to, instead of employing 4 more brokers, if you can train this video agent really well, that might be the first step.
Yeah.
my not main concern, but where I can see this going is that, as banks spend more money on this, that they will find a way to cut out broking as much as they
Well,
can.
of course they will. They always want to do that, right?
Yeah.